Multiple officers shot. Multiple officers shot.
The couple portrayed as drug dealers without fear of the law.
We actually bought black tar heroin at that location.
The head, the neck, the left forearm, he was shot all over.
We've got to wonder why heroin was brought from one scene to another scene, two scenes that seemingly have no connection.
The warrant obtained by police, and it was based on lies. And it was based on lies.
Houston, Texas, the dirty South. Home with chopped and screwed. Slabs and swingers. And double cups of Stewart. Imagine one day you're just straight chilling, watching TV, scrolling your phone or making dinner. Then all of a sudden, boom, the door flies off the hinges. Armed men rush in, guns drawn, no announcement, no warning. Now, if you're from H-Town, you already know what time it is.
We have breaking news. A man is dead after a home invasion. Police now looking for as many as 3 to 4 suspects.
This afternoon, the search is on for a group of armed robbers who broke into an apartment near NRG Stadium.
You get the picture. You're thinking, home invasion, you grab your weapon,
I hear the train a-comin'.
and within seconds, you're in a gunfight in your own home. That's exactly what happened to Dennis Toe and Regina Nicholas.
4:30 in the afternoon, January 28th, 10 HPD narcotics officers burst into the home, killing Dennis Tuttle and Regina Nicholas inside along with their dog.
Now, autopsy reported the victims was horrifying.
The head, the neck, the left forearm, he was shot all over.
Davis is looking at the medical examiner's report of 59-year-old Dennis Tuttle, who was shot 9 times during the botched raid in January.
7844, we're going to be at 7815 Hardy. 7815 Hardy. We have multiple officers shot. Multiple officers shot. We have the house surrounded. We got units in the back. We still got officers inside. I'm hurting.
The no-knock raid, carried out by the Houston Police Department, signed off by a judge based on a lie.
What's the details on the call slip? Daughter's at location. She possibly thinks there's drugs, guns inside the residence.
Because we had a search warrant that narcotics activity was going on in that residence, specifically the sale of black tar heroin. The officer wrote a detailed note within the call slip history to document their actions, what they had learned, and what they had done.
The couple portrayed as drug dealers without fear of the law.
A male suspect came from around the back and started an open fire with a .357 Magnum. A female suspect went towards that officer, reached over the officer, and started making a move for his shotgun.
Officers are behind a vehicle with their injured colleague when suddenly 2 shots ring out.
He was right there on the floor, got him.
As the investigation unfolded, the truth began to surface, or the lies, I should say.
We actually bought black tar heroin at that location.
We were first to report the warrant obtained by police, and it was based on lies.
It now appears 1 or more officers lied to a judge to obtain the warrant to raid that home.
A lie that was devised by Officer Gerald Goins. Gerald Goins was a veteran narcotics officer with the Houston Police Department. He had over 30 years on the force, which gave him seniority and credibility inside the department. His work over the years speaks for itself.
Houston police undercover narcotics officer and 2 suspects with a 4-year-old child caught in the middle of it all. Houston police descended on the scene after hearing pleas for help from the wounded officer. When help arrived on the scene, what they found was 32-year-old Gerald Goins, a 13-year HPD veteran with gunshot wounds to the left arm and abdomen, a suspect with gunshot wounds in his right arm and side.
But it was only a matter of time before witness testimony unveiled the true actions of Officer Goins.
HPD's Special Investigations Unit testify about what he saw from Gerald Goins in the hospital when he interviewed him, and ultimately was able to prove and identify that Gerald Goins never made a true buy at 7815 Harding Street.
Goins claimed a confidential informant bought heroin from that house, but in fact, he actually meant another house.
It gets even stickier because found inside Goins' city vehicle was unlogged heroin. That appears to be from an under-the-table transaction a few days earlier. Apparently, a real informant did make that buy. Quote, Officer Goins had him or her do a buy from a house on Napoleon Street. Officer Goins returned to pick up the bags of heroin approximately 6 hours later. You have got to wonder why heroin was brought from one scene to another scene, two scenes that seemingly have no connection.
Let's not be naive to the fact that Chief Acevedo played a big part in this botched raid.
You see HPD Chief Art Acevedo, the former chief, show up to the scene. Art's walking around, checking in with people, talking to them, and then he circles around. And the video lasts for about 46 minutes, or 43 minutes, I should say, and then stops. Just like that, it cuts. Why did it cut? Because on video, it is captured, clear as day, the former Houston police chief telling the officer who testified, Officer Rios, you, turn off your body cam.
From day one, when I joined this police department, I told my people that if you lie, you die.
This was the Houston Police Department's chief, the top cop in the city of Houston, saying, turn off your body cam.
Yeah, so when you have the chief of police directing an officer in a high-profile shooting involving police officers, Houston, you have a problem. It makes you wonder what was going on within the Houston Police Department, what Acevedo's policies were, and it looks like a cover-up, simple as it gets. And the next question is, why did they not investigate Acevedo for tampering with evidence?
Chief Acevedo was very quick to condemn the botched raid once the false testimony surfaced.
When you lie on an affidavit, that's not sloppy. That's a crime. When I joined this police department, I told my people that if you lie, you die.
But in this case, 2 civilians are dead.
That's a problem. Don't get to lie to the court. I stand by that. We had probable cause to be there.
What you talking about, Willis?
Chief Art Acevedo was a villain that wears many hats, and we will get into him in another episode. Thankfully, on October 8th, 2024, justice was handed down to former officer Gerald Goins.
Nearly 6 years after a deadly drug raid, a jury sentenced former Houston Narcotics officer Gerald Goins to 60 years in prison for his role in the raid.
Dennis was a Navy vet. Rogina, a loving wife. Neither made it out of their living room alive. Their only crime, living in a corrupt city with a badge-first justice system. This wasn't an accident. It was execution by paperwork. And the scary thing is, it could happen to anyone.
If you enjoyed the content, show some love and hit that like button and subscribe for more Unfiltered Media. Peace.